Time now for sports with Tom Wylie.
Welcome back. According to the Office of Public Instruction, suicide is the second leading cause of preventable death among Montana teenagers, with a rate more than double the national average. But those are just statistics. The personal toll suicide leaves on a community, particularly in small towns, can't be calculated.
He would walk in a room and his smile would brighten up the whole room. I mean, it was amazing, the effect he had on people.
He was the first one to go up to anybody on the street and say hi, and he was never bashful.
From the outside looking in, Tristan Billmeyer had the perfect life. He was a standout athlete, the homecoming king at Turner High School, but inside, Tristan was hurting. And on May 2nd, 2015, he took his own life, leaving his community reeling and his family broken.
It's hard, like, not only on us, but the whole community. I know we're not the only people to go through this, but it's something that affected all of us.
And questions immediately followed. What could we have done? Should we have seen something?
That's the thing. I look back now, and there was little things that kind of flash back in my mind.
Mental illness is something that it's not always heard, seen. It's seen if you knew some of the triggers that you should look for. After we look back, we've seen a lot of them, and we were just not educated about it, and we missed it.
Truth is, the Billmeyers are still looking for answers. No one knows what drove Tristan to choose suicide, but they do know they wanted to do something about it. So they did. Tristan's sister, Ella, came up with the idea of a suicide prevention and awareness walk to honor her brother and best friend.
It'd mean the world to me to help somebody in a tough situation like that. That's what we're here for. We're here to prevent that from happening again.
And on a Saturday in September, nearly 300 friends, family members, and even total strangers walked or jogged the 8 miles from Hoagland to Turner with one goal: to spread awareness and encourage people to get educated on suicide prevention.
I hope more people do it. You know, there's people all across the country today walking with us that they've said. So that just means a lot.
The walk provided time for reflection for the Billmeyer family, and Adam's thoughts drifted toward his son.
Of course you think about him. I think about him every day. Yeah. You just don't want anyone else to go through this hurt. So I guess that's why we're doing it. So if it prevents one, it's totally worth it.
I never even imagined we'd have to be doing something like this. And I don't know if it's right or wrong, I said, but it makes me feel better to try to do something.
Their message is a powerful one. To the world, you may be one person, but to one person, you are the world. To the Billmeyers, family is the world. And while walking won't bring Tristan back, it may prevent others from having their world turned upside down.
You always got to look at the positives in life. That's what carries you through. And thank God we have a lot of good people that have helped us through this. So hopefully we can provide some support for other people. It's not fun, not easy, but we'll make it.
One day and one step at a time. But we know there are people out there today who are suffering, and it can be difficult to discuss, but there is help. You can call the Suicide Prevention Lifeline at the number on your screen and find information and resources about suicide prevention at the web address on your screen. You can also find this information. Well, by now you've likely seen video of Lewistown manager Luke Durkheim scoring his first varsity points against Havre on Saturday. It was a heartwarming moment for sure, but the story behind the shot is even better.
Here you go.
There are few things Luke Durkheim loves more in this life than basketball and Fergus High School athletics.
Pass, Noah. Good pass, Tanner. once basketball season rolls around, I mean, it's everything to me. Every practice I'm here, every game, I'm first one here and last one to leave. It's pretty much life around here for me.
As a kid growing up in Lewistown, Luke always dreamed of suiting up for the Eagles and playing varsity basketball. Sometimes life has other plans.
Well, when I was a child, the doctor basically gave me a heel poke knee to see if I have the disease that I have, and I ended up having it.
Phenylketonuria, or PKU for short, prevents Luke from breaking down proteins correctly, meaning his body didn't develop the same way as those of his classmates.
I mean, like, I just don't really want people to feel sorry for me. Just kind of get out there, do what I need to do, play the game that I love.
Luke has tried out for the team every year, and every season he gets cut. So he's settled into a role as the team manager.
But you know, he comes to practice every day, he hops in, practices with us, does a lot of things to stay a part of the team. And
he's definitely a huge part. Like, when we have a tough loss, he takes it harder than any of us do, because he just loves Fergus basketball that much and Fergus sports in general. So, you know, he's very inspiring because, you know, he doesn't get to like be out here with us because of reasons, and really puts in perspective that how lucky I am to be out here and play, and it inspires me to play for sure.
His dedication to the team and the school gave head coach Scott Sparks an idea. Let's give Luke a shot on senior night. They broke the news to him last Wednesday.
I think he started crying. You could tell he was super excited. All of us were excited and really emotional.
Saturday rolled around, and with the Eagles leading by 8 points in the fourth quarter, Coach Sparks called Luke's name, and he finally got his chance.
It was literally a dream. I felt like I was dreaming. Just walking over to the check-in table, and I was still trying to figure out what was going on.
And with less than 5 seconds to go in the ball game, Luke finally got his moment.
You know, I knew it would happen in the end. I was just hoping that, you know, we could pull it off for him to get in at the very end, but once it happened, it was so special. Just to see that he finally got in, I know, like, he's been dreaming of that moment his whole life, and for us to finally get that for him, it was an amazing feeling.
When I was being mobbed at half court, it was insane. And then when I went into the locker room, Scott pretty much just said that I'll forever be, I got my first varsity points, and I'll forever be marked down as a varsity basketball player.
Luke gives everything he has to his team every single day, but it's what the team gave back to Luke on Saturday that will stay with him and everyone in the gym forever.
I mean, these guys, they've done everything for me. They've literally done everything they could to get me in the game. And Scott, to even give me the opportunity to get into the game, was very, very nice of him.
you know, he deserves everything he gets.
Can't help but smile at that. Luke says that was the greatest moment of his life. He says it could only be better if Lewistown does pretty well in the upcoming postseason. That is your check on sports. And MSU Northern held its final football scrimmage over the weekend, and all the comforts of a spring game were present. Coaches, tackles, touchdowns, it all seemed pretty routine. That is for everyone except sophomore wide receiver Sam Mix.
Compete on three, 1, 2, 3, compete!
The fact that Sam Mix is even on the field today is a miracle. One that he makes the most of on the final series of the day. With his friends and family in attendance, he makes his first catch of the afternoon, and it represents more than just a number in a stat sheet.
It's like, yeah, it's a culmination of a years of work into just one play. You know, it brought a tear to my eye, quite frankly.
The Mix family has shed a lot of tears over the past year. In May of 2015, on the final day of spring semester, a senseless act of violence changed Sam's life.
Life hit, you know, stuff happens.
Mix was one of 3 victims in a home invasion at an apartment complex in Havre. He suffered over 40 stab wounds and was airlifted to Seattle, clinging to life.
One minute you're having the best time ever with your friends. You know, next minute your whole life's in jeopardy, so definitely did made me think that, you know, you can't take anything for granted.
Sam survived the attack, but doctors told him his promising football career was likely over. He remained in Seattle for the entire 2015 season, facing a long road to recovery.
So I got hit. I got stabbed one time in the back of the neck and kind of in my shoulder area, in my armpit, and the nerve that connects from my head to my bicep, that tells my bicep to work basically, it gives me function here, was cut. And so I lost my bicep basically. You know, at first hearing that, you know, they were saying it'd be really hard to come back from. And then my hand, you know, I got the knife went in here and out here. And that surgery, and originally my thumb was numb and I couldn't really get control of it.
But for anyone who knows Sam, quitting was not an option. In December, after months of rehab and healing, he made the difficult decision to return to Northern and rejoin the football team.
I mean, my best friends go to school here, and that's the main reason I'm back here. More so than, you know, even just getting back to school, getting back to football, I needed to be around the camaraderie.
Sam was ready to go on the first day of spring drills. His teammates welcomed him back with open arms, and on the field, he didn't miss a step.
No, he hasn't. He actually, I was telling someone the other day, I think he's back, and I think he's playing better than he did last spring. So, again, we're excited about Sam a lot. He's going to be a big contributor for us this year.
His hard work and perseverance inspires his teammates.
It really has it. I mean, for the receivers alone, I feel like it's really pushed us. Coach is always like, you know, Sam's here, so let him be your motivation to be great, and we just kind of let it push us.
When I'm working hard and when I'm doing my best, I'll get on them. They can do their best. You know what I mean? You know, me going through what I went through, I was doing my thing, and I think that helps the people around me do their thing. They see what I'm doing, and I know they think they can do it as well. So that helps the team.
Sam's life was turned upside down in an instant last year. Nothing will ever change what happened that night, but from suffering comes strength. And with the support of his coaches, teammates, and family, Sam has never been stronger.
But definitely making the decision to come back to school was something I needed to do. I got in that mindset where, you know, if I can come back from this, you know, what can I do? And you know, it was a terrible experience, but it was something that, you know, looking back on, you know, it only made me stronger.
Well, Sam says he draws his inspiration from Taylor Woolman. She's the Skylights volleyball player who suffered brain damage in that same attack. Woolman continues to rehab at her home in Belgrade, and Sam has supported her every step of the way. He says they were friends before, but they've become like family in the years since, calling her the strongest person he's ever met. That's your check on sports. We'll be right back.
Athlete of the Week, brought to you by Tillman Motor Company.